Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you a video after I've calmed down. More Dakka got nerfed, and you might be thinking, Monster, your main faction is Tyrannage. Why would this have you worked up that it got nerfed? Because I hate all of this, really, like all of the aspects of it. The design, the initial design of it, the now design of it, the community outrage about it, like all of it pissed me off to high hell, if I'm being honest with you. Uh, I gotta admit, not playing at the moment. I've said that on videos. I can't currently be playing right now. But the way it's the design and how everything was handled and how I knew it was going to be handled that upsets me. Because if you tell the community, hey, your opponent is going to have sustained hits too, of course they're going to be upset no matter if you have to hit on fucking sevens and eights. Like, yeah, it wasn't going to happen. But to that point, let's talk about what happened, what the nerfs are, and what I would have liked to see, and why I don't like what happened. Uh, Mordaka is, I gotta admit, it's not dead, but you have absolutely no reason to play it. It's not dead, but you have zero reason to play it comparatively, and now it has zero reason to exist. So, Dakka is the detachment rule. I was really, for a while, I couldn't understand why on earth people were trying to call the detachment Dakka and couldn't figure out, like, hey, it's called more Dakka. Anyway, past that, infantry and walkers get assault, and in the WA, they get sustained hits 1. Now, previously, it was sustained hits 2, the same, like, uh, outside, and during your shooting phase, sustained hits 2. And if it was in the WA, you get assault. So that's problem number one as to, well, you know what, we'll keep it going and then we'll talk about all the problems at the same time so it makes sense. They also fixed a couple of strats down here. Long uncontrolled burst. Instead of needing to get an orc character within 18 inches and then everybody going into that unit that the character has chosen gets ignores cover, one of your units gets ignores cover. Don't think it. Honestly, this one probably should have made sense from the start, but at the same time, we're talking about orcs here. I don't think this one was a problem. Get stuck in ledge has gone up to 2 CP, one that everybody kind of figured was going to happen anyway, and it no longer works on Gretchen units. That one kind of, I get it, it was annoying, not having to spend for Swa on or having to spend Zodgrot and the Gretchen was what was making it annoying. And I get that doing that for 1 CP first turn already, something instead of having to spend your entire army's WA, right? So that's something. And we call this all the 2 CP coming. I have a gripe with it being 2 CP only in the fact that you're playing a faction that doesn't have ways to make that less painful. Yes, the Gretchen on objectives could possibly get you an additional command point, but it's not like we're playing Ultramarines out here where there's Calgar, Gilliman, Captains, yada yada yada, right? We're not uh, in that situation where there's methods, and then those methods have trade-offs where, Hive Tyrant, I'll be honest with my own faction, 200 points to play the game. Calgar are 200 whatever points to play the game, right? So that means that you're not bringing 200 something points of orc units. That kind of evens it out, but they don't have that. So I feel like 2 CP is a bit weird for what it's asking you to get, especially now. If you would have just made this 2 CP first and then see how that settled for everybody, um, I think this would have been fine. But going back up to here, yeah, giving orcs sustained hits too, when even Tau don't get that the entire game, kind of weird. Yes, the trade-off is that you hit worse, but kind of weird. Gotta admit on that one. Assault, kind of weird. Uh, you're playing orcs, yeah, they like to run and gun, fine, but just because they have assault, they're hitting on fives and sixes. Who gives a shit, right? You want them to be able to charge. You're playing orcs. If you don't give them a real reason to shoot their gun, it doesn't matter. Now, you, of course, are taking only units that would prefer to shoot their gun in this detachment. But to that point, um, You don't have a reason to do that here versus several other detachments. First off, the thing that pisses me off about more Dakka, because we knew that this was the change that they were going to make. Everybody wanted this change, quote unquote, because they weren't playing the Orcs. Now I ask you, why would I play this when they could have just fixed Cult of Speed? Speed freak units from your army are eligible to shoot in a turn in which they advanced or fell back. Damn, if it was just going to be assault outside of the wall, well, assault every turn instead of just on the wall, it could have just fixed Cult of Speed. Instead of speed freak units, you could have fucking unkeyworded the hell out of the Orc Codex and fixed Cult of Speed. Now you get sustained hits 1. Don't worry, you could have just fixed this. Instead of speed freak units, lethal, sustain, make me spend a command point, I'll do that. Right? If I'm in if my speed freak unit or truck, I still have play here. I give me a reason to take some of these things. Give it a extra bonus if it is a speed freak unit. Make it that infantry and whatever. Make it that orc units get advance and fall back and shoot. But if they're a speed freak unit, they get +9 on movement or something. I don't fucking know. Um, you could have just fixed Cult of Speed. That's the thing that annoys me highly with this. You could have fixed Cult of Speed. And one of the things that people realized while doing more Dakka, and one thing that I've been complaining about since the Codex released, is you could have been writing Dread Mob list. You could have figured out how to play this detachment. Now this is on the Orc players for just not doing that. Now I'm gonna be real, that's on y'all. Um, but now it's like, well, if I want to sustain, I could just play Dread Mob, because guess what? You were attaching them to mech units anyway. You were taking these walkers in Dread Mob anyway. Dread Mob benefits the walkers even more over here. Reroll hit rolls with 1, I like that. Assault, I like that. +1 to wound versus monster and vehicles for a slew of things, I like that. Oh, I didn't have my tank busters in place, I can have something to help me out. Um, Oh, Zodgrod and Gretchen is kind of annoying. Guess what? Make them more annoying over here, and they become battle line. You should have been playing Dread Mob anyway, and one of the things that happened is, oh, people looked at it, realized, oh, everybody's just writing a Dread Mob list. So to those brave few that realized what was going on, ran Dread Mob and took it to about a 67% win rate that one weekend. Shout out to you. Because that was goofy. This was absolutely goofy. You were writing Dread Mob lists that you should have been writing the entire time. Now, mind you, you didn't have tank busters at the start, but once those got released, you should have just come running over here immediately. Immediately. Should have just been like, oh, wait, I could have a unit with stealth. Cough, cough, we'll get to that. I could have a unit with ignores cover. Cough, cough, get to that. Flaskets couldn't benefit from Dread Mob, so I guess that's the trade off. Where if you were taking Flaskets, because you really want to take Flaskets, you couldn't play Dread Mob with them. But if you're doing this shit with looters who have rapid fire, yeah, you could have been doing a lot of things over here in Dread Mob anyway. But to that point, yeah, you couldn't take the flaskets to do it. You could have fixed Dread Mob too. But why not just go back to Tactical Brigade, where you could give yourself +1 to hit, which is better than hoping that you roll some sixes. Um, if it's only going to be sustained hits 1. I'd rather hit a little bit better across my units instead of praying for sixes. That's just me though, I guess. Um, so that was goofy. That's goofy. And then you even get, oh yeah, look at that, flash get support. I have no reason to play more Dakka over Tactical Brigade, Dread Mob, or you could have just fixed Cult of Speed. But then going to more Dakka, how would I have fixed it? Right? How would I have fixed it? Well, I gotta admit, there's a little bit egg on my face because this is take number 2. And I was like, yeah, this should have just been rapid fire. This is what should have switched. Then I had to remember how much shit in the Orc Codex has rapid fire. Rapid. Like, how much it has rapid fire already. But to that point, that was a way to get around it too. Right? You could have give everything rapid fire, assault in the Wa. That way you have an easier way to maintain that rapid fire situation and then charge on top of that. Give everything rapid fire too. one or two. That way, not every six turns into two more shots. Just, you get two more shots flat, and hopefully you roll some more fives and sixes instead of just getting the guaranteed hits, right? Um, you make it rapid fire too, and if they already have rapid fire, you do the World Eater's Blessings of Corn thing, where models that get a six of Feel No Pain, if they already have a Feel No Pain, add one to the Feel No Pain rolls. Increase the rapid fire by one. That way, somebody like Gaz, who has, now mind you, you weren't taking Gaz in this list anyway, let's be real, but something like Gaz that has rapid fire 4, if you did, make it rapid fire 5. And he has to work for getting those bonus shots by being in the mix. You have to be up there for rapid fire, half the range. So 18 inches, increase the attacks by da 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 da, right? But that means that you have to have a trade off. You are playing orcs. They have low toughness. Gaz is only T6. Um, Meganobs, what are you again? Where are you again? T6. It stops there for the most part, outside of vehicles, of course. But something like, where's the Ludas? Ludas are T5. 5 up save, 1 wound. If you make it so that, yeah, their rapid fire that they already had, or even better, the Def Guns go into rapid fire 2 and the Big Shooter go into rapid fire 3, cool. Now I don't feel bad that I took Ludas. And on the flip side, going back to, well, the whole flash hit situation, now I won't feel bad about taking flash hits because sustained hit 1 can't become sustained hit 1, sustained hit 1. You get only sustained hit 1, right? So, uh, if this would have been rapid fire, now they have to be within 12 inches. They were getting out of trucks anyway. We all knew that was happening, but it was still only during your shooting phase, is the thing I'm suggesting, right? Only during your shooting phase, rapid fire. Uh, because, yeah, Overwatch could have got a bit silly. But you're playing orcs. They are fragile. Make it so that they have to work for it by getting in that range and surviving in that range. If you get overwatched, because more than likely the range that you are achieving for rapid fire with orcs, let's be generous. Let's say that it's a 24-inch on like something or looters, right? Yeah, on the def gun, let's say that it's 24. You better hope that you didn't hit 23.9. Or actually, you want to hit that, right? So you better hope that you are not in Overwatch territory before your opponent lifts a couple of looters that were going to get some sick, nasty shots on you. This should have been rapid fire. This should have been something in the way of that. This should have been the sustained hits 2 on the 1 enhancement. Hell, make it sustained hits 3 just to make it fun, because at the other point, this is why I can't fault GW too much. People ask, how did this get released? And I see why. Because they did have to make it different. Infantry and Walker, like I said, you just rewrote Dreadmob. I don't know why you did that part, but at the same point, Sustained Hits 2, you're playing Orcs. You want it to be fun. They want to be taking a chance if you're talking about Orc shooting. So there should be a big payoff for rolling those sixes. Now, if that big payoff is Sustained Hits 2, debatable. But there should have, I see why they did it. If you just make it Sustained Hits 1 in the WA, who gives a fuck? You could have just kept it as what is and going from Sustained Hits 2 to Sustained Hits 1. But again, it's like, ew, do I care about that for some of these units? I would have said rapid fire, that way you actually have to play the game and there's more Dakka coming out of them, more things to worry about. If your opponent sees 6 trucks across the table and they know that all of them are filled with flaskets and looters and tank busters, guess what? Your opponent has a target. Goes, yeah, I gotta lift those bad boys up. If you make it walkers, yeah, is your walker surviving all the way up to what their range is? Possibly, right? Possibly, even probably. We already have rapid fire 10 on the Deathstorm Mega Shooter on the Gorkanaut, right? You already have that. 265 points. But then if you make a rocket launcher, a Scorcher, hell, That'd be kind of cool if there were some rapid fire flamers, some burner boys. We saw that in a list or two. That'd be funny if there was a way to achieve that, right? Have we seen a rapid fire flamer? I don't think so, right? See, that's what I'm talking about. Like that would have been fun. Yeah, they weren't benefiting from sustained hits too anyway, and you want burner boys are a shooting unit. So where'd they go? But yeah, things like that. Blast rapid fire instead of blast sustained hits too. I mean, don't get me wrong, sustained hits too has its things, but blast rapid fire sounds kind of fun. Making the big shooter go up to rapid fire 3 sounds kind of fun. Um, rapid fire on a flamer. Is that there's something telling me that there's a line that I'm forgetting that means that that should be impossible, but right now I'm not seeing it in my head. But yeah, that's why I'm just kind of annoyed by how all of this was handled. Do I think it was? And I think my final thing about it is one thing that where does all of this stop, right? There were some things that I like. I'm glad GW is more responsive to things that need to be changed, but I do think they're still moving way too quickly on some of them. Oh, but they finally learned they didn't quadruple nerf it because they didn't touch the points. No, they quadruple nerf this. This is a quadruple nerf, but they just decided not to quintuple nerf. Like, no, GW didn't really learn much. You're supposed to take it in steps to see what the actual problem was. If it's sustained hits 2, do you make that sustained hits 1 and see if the army can function outside of that? Do I have a reason to play it at sustained hits 1? Right? Instead of giving myself assault for units that hit on 5s and 6. Why do I care? Yeah, a lot of them have rapid fire, but I'm still hitting on 5s and 6s, and one of them gets sustained. Like, I don't purely want the assault because I'm playing orcs still. Like, they're not the best at shooting, they have shooting units, but I need a payoff for that. Them just having assault isn't payoff enough. It works for other armies because they're hitting on 4s and 3s, if not 2s, right? That's the thing. So you had to find something fun to do. And I feel like you had to take this in measured steps. So like, no, GW didn't necessarily learn. They just killed the new detachment in a way that I have no reason to play this. It is so ununique now. I could just play. You could just fix cult of speed. You could just fix the play dread mob. You just play dread mob. You made dread mob list. Play dread mob. You can go over to tactical brigade. +1 to hit. You already did that. We saw it worked. Like, I have no reason to be like, yeah, I'm gonna play more Dakka because I'm gonna take my looters and my flash kits and my tank busters and make a list out of it. Just go over here. That way your flash kits even get somebody that can give you reroll hits and can come back while having +1 to hit. And then, in case you end up still having to get into melee, sustained or lethal, fall back, shoot, and charge. Your orcs. If you get tied up in infantry, thank goodness. Like you have this already. You have this already. This could have been fixed. Like, I'm glad that it had its moment, and I think every army needs a detachment like this to happen for them. Um, but if this is going to be the new way where, yeah, something like Release Eldar shouldn't have been 10th edition Release Eldar, shouldn't have been around for as long. Yeah, that's true. Um, but at the same time, I think we're doing emergency things way too quick. You have to find out first off what's the problem and if there is actually something to do. I don't think that you get that answer in the first weekend. I think you get that answer in the first month. I need a month of results to go, know what? That is the thing within this to go that's a problem. Because you see it on the first weekend, everybody looks at it, and everybody's too busy crying. Like, no, I won't have a way to beat it. I have no way to beat it. I don't know. So that everybody loses. They already blew their attitudes at the moment that they saw your opponent playing it. Oh, I heard orcs have sustained hits too now. Is that true? Yeah, man, it's pretty good. Oh well, I quit. I'm gonna go here. You're just gonna shoot me though. We've all had that opponent or your friend that gets tired. It's just like not even tired, but just overly aggravated. You go, yeah. So this is like, oh, here we go again, and it'd be over the stupidest shit too, right? We've all had that one where it's like the stupidest unit for your opponent to be upset about. You guys in your neurogons. It's like what? Yeah, 22 bodies for 90 points. That's not fair. You're just like, brother, what are we talking about here? So then you do that attitude, and then your opponent loses, and they go, "See, I told you, it's those stupid neurogons," and you're just like, "Brother, huh?" So that's all that we gotta remember. The mentality of players definitely goes into some of these wins. If not, that's shit, not some. It goes into all of these wins. At a certain point, you will be a little bit defeated on the receiving end of something that, yeah, sometimes is broken. But you gotta figure out what part of it makes it broken. Is it that it's too fast to recovery or too many units activating? Would it have been better if you did something like, oh, uh, units, all more Dakka units? Hell, not even that, but you could select one unit per turn that gets sustained hits too, and you got to put your faith, trust, and pixie dust into that. Like by the power of Mork and Gork in their head, they see it. They're vibing. Champion of Mork and Gork Dakka edition. Midnight Dakka Edition 3, right? I don't know. Right? I don't know. There was better ways to implement it, better ways to design it, better ways to address it. And you all should have been playing fucking Dreadmop. That's my soapbox again. Play fucking Dreadmop. If you're sad about what just happened to more Dakka, put the exact same list in Dreadmob and see how it works out for you. So yeah. If you like the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.